Welcome, ladies and gents. Car nonsense. The 2021 Nissan Qashqai has been spotted. Now, this is on Drive Tribe. They weren't the ones to break this story, but it has been spotted, and they have a fairly good rundown of it. It dropped about 16 hours ago, so fairly fresh news. And also, so this is very interesting because it's actually off the back end of that Nissan next product reveal that they had. So obviously the Qashqai is it's a fairly long in the tooth crossover SUV, whatever you want to call them now. But it looks to have like a semi-major refresh. They've slowly changed it over the period of a couple of years now. And the 2021, it looks interesting. It almost looks like a bit of a fastback. You can see it right there. And they look like they've squashed in the windows. So visibility might be somewhat different. And this is the sort of most prominent thing that I wanted to take a look at here is the front end. Because this gives us an indication on how the rest of the lineup is going to look. Right? Because I in the podcast, which I did yesterday with Nick, which I'll leave linked above, we spoke about the 400Z and how I think a lot of the concept artists have got it wrong because Nissan have slowly changed the front end to look more and more Nismo. And this looks to keep in line with that. And I know it's difficult to really see a lot of it here, but I think it does. Fog lights down the bottom. It looks very much similar to what's already been released in the most recent refresh. So we'll take a look at the Drive Tribe's article and kind of just pick apart some bits and pieces. I will say, wheels look good. I mean, they look, again, very, very much in line with what they have done already. But I like the curvature, I like how they've adjusted, it looks sporty. It looks more sporty than the other Qashqais. I do find that a bit odd that they've kind of squatted down the windows. But anyway, let's dive into it. If you enjoy these videos, guys, please do give the video a like, and also please do share it. So obviously, Drive Tribe, fairly quick rundown. Nissan has big plans for its model range. We know that. They are looking to really do an overhaul. They've had all the nonsense with Gone. They've been huge losses. They're looking to really overhaul their brand by the sounds of things and just completely change it, which I love Nissan. I'm a huge Nissan fanboy. Yes, let's do it. Let's absolutely smash it. I wish them all the best. Now, obviously with the new CEO, Makoto Uchida, having been at the helm of the Japanese manufacturer for barely half a year, he's already seen the crash in the automotive industry caused by the coronavirus outbreak. And that's true. But I think they can come out on top. I've got a lot of hope for what they're doing. Now, in terms of the look, and again, we've got a fairly good image here, and it's quite fastbacky, isn't it? They have changed. There's a little bit of I guess we could call it like a window spoiler. They are making it more in line with, well, I guess the industry on a whole. We're going for something a little bit more aggressive with a lot of these cars now, especially the SUV range, especially in the States. Lovely Lotus there. But they are going for a much more aggressive, hard, sporty look. Because SUVs seem to be the future, which is a massive shame. But, if these can sell, which makes manufacturers make sports cars, I'm all for it. Now, Drive Tribe note that the Nissan Qashqai design, the third generation Qashqai, will be subject to a bold exterior refresh. I wouldn't say it's hugely different because they've slowly tweaked it. There's one which is literally just down the road from me, fairly modern, fairly new, had a refresh, and they're all in line with the Nissan Nismo look. So I wouldn't say it's a huge refresh, but they're saying that the redesign is going to be in line with the aesthetic changes made to the second generation Duke. Now, if you haven't seen the Duke remodel redesign, I actually quite like it. I think it's an interesting way to go. I still wouldn't have one, but it's an interesting way to go, and it is going harsher, harder looking, Now, obviously, they do say whilst also taking inspiration from recent Nissan concepts such as the IMQ. Now, inside the Qashqai will no doubt receive just as much a thorough redesign. They've done some fantastic redesigns on their interiors recently. They have, for all the flack that Nissan gets as a brand, they have really stepped up to the plate their interior redesigns. Like, they've just completely changed it. They even have their new seat technology is like some floaty NASA inspired, it's almost like a memory foam material for their seats. And again, for all the flack that they get, they have stepped up to the plate. Lots of soft touch materials all on their interiors. They're doing color coordinated. Their steering wheels are nicer now. They're really changing and stepping up to the markets that their individual lines are supposed to fit into, whilst also providing above and beyond particular technology packages like Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. And that's where I think that they're going to get the upper hand. I hope, at the very least, anyway. Now, obviously, Drive Tribe note that expect to have a complete overhaul of the infotainment system, which will take advantage of the latest technologies and safety features. Goes back to what I note. They do offer a lot for free. Their standard packages are really good. They're very good. Now, obviously, it says whilst the dashboard is also likely to be completely redesigned from that seen in the current generation, which is good. They have been changing them. They've got color coordinated elements, two-tone accented marks. They are really stepping up to the plate when it comes to their redesigns. I love it. I think it's fantastic. And it is really good to see. And as a Nissan owner myself, I own the 370Z or Z. Their seats are awesome. Even in the sports cars, their seats are fantastic. So in an SUV, and I know this sounds super lame, but it's very important to note, in an SUV, they're adding that extra new seat technology. Their seats are going to be fantastic. Like, they are going to be absolutely awesome. And there's some Nissan dealerships around here, so when they finally get these in, we will, myself and Nick, we will try and get to review one for you guys. Now, obviously, this is where we come to the major clinching point, because a lot of people on that podcast where I did with Nick, we were discussing the 400Z, a lot of people were like, well, they're just going to chuck a CVT in it, and I would say I hope not, but a lot of people are not aware in certain parts of the world anyway, is that Nissan have developed a 9-speed auto transmission. Very good auto transmission, actually, which I would imagine just develops and builds off of what they had in the 370Z, which was a 7-speed auto transmission, which is fantastic. It's not a CVT at all. And the auto transmission in the Z cars are actually very good. So if they start putting that 9-speed in their sportier models, yeah, awesome. All day, every day. That'd be absolutely fantastic. Now, Drive Tribe note that despite the major aesthetic changes, the new Qashqai won't be sat on an entirely new platform. Rather, it will see Nissan adapt the CMF platform that underpins the current Qashqai model. Rumour has it that Nissan won't be offering any diesel engines in the next generation. That makes perfect sense, especially in the UK and ties to Europe, the emission standards which are there. That really does make an awful lot of sense. Now, obviously, it's talking about electrification at the head of its powertrain strategy. That's what everyone is doing at the moment, so it's hardly a surprise. But the Nissan Qashqai engine options, which have been rumoured anyway, in terms of powertrain options, it's expected that there'll be 2 new hybrid offerings, which will make up the core lineup of the new Qashqai. One of which is the brand's e-Power system, which utilises a small petrol engine that acts as a generator to charge the batteries that propel the car via electric motors. And we can see another fantastic image here. They're pretty well revealing, and again, it's that fastback end. I will say, like, she got ass. Like, that's a pretty bulbous looking rear end there. Now, the problem I have with that is that if it's a tiny electric, well, the motors will have to be strong, but if it's tiny petrol power as well, you're not going to get that much range on these. And that's where I see the massive downfall, because these are big, heavy pigs of cars. And yeah, I mean, they're going to have quite good motors on them, but I just don't think the range will be there. Now, obviously, Qashqai release date with the new X-Trail prioritised for an unveiling before the new Qashqai, potentially in the autumn of this year. This is the thing. who knows? I'd like to round out this video, literally who knows when we're going to see it, because with the current state of the world, shipments are on hold. Like, I myself actually have a car which I've got a deposit on, shipping over from Southeast Asia. We don't know when it's going to land. Like, this is just the state of the world currently. Now, obviously, a big manufacturer like Nissan, who actually just renewed their development factories, the construction factories in the UK, which is fantastic. It means they'll be closer to home, and potentially we'll get them a lot sooner. Yeah, I mean, we don't know, but they should be able to ship them out a lot sooner than other companies that are being hit by this. And also as well, this pandemic does seem to be subsiding quite a lot now, so hopefully we'll get it soon. But what do you guys think of the new Qashqai? I mean, for me, it serves its purpose in the lineup. I really wish them all the best. I think the more that they sell of these, the more potential we can get for sports cars, because Nissan are dedicated to their sports cars, but they just need to get back in profit very clearly. I wish them all the best, and I hope they become a bit like Toyota, basically, where they have Toyota Yaris GR and all these things. So good. I'd love that for Nissan again. Come back with a 400Z, develop a new GTR, maybe even release a dedicated Skyline. Like obviously the R35, but a new dedicated Skyline. That'd be awesome. So anyway, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Guys, if you're new to Car Nonsense, this is this new channel. Please do hit subscribe, and please do give this video a like and a share. We've got an updated podcast coming very, very soon, which will be an introduction to myself and Nick, where we discuss and break down our own personal history with vehicles. You're going to love his cars. Probably not going to like his decisions on selling some of them, but you're going to like his cars. Very, very interesting. And also his future cars. So I think that will make for an interesting podcast. But thank you so much, guys. Take care.